Hey guys, welcome to Double D's RCs. I'm Don. Today we're going to be installing a servo onto my 4x4 slash. I kind of flew into a chain link fence the other day off of a jump, and I think it broke one of the internal gears on my original servo. So eventually I'll take those gears out and put metal ones in. Traxxas makes a metal gear rebuild kit, but in the meantime I'm going to put a different servo in there and just get it back on the road. So let's go take a look and see how this works. This is the servo that I'm going to put in there. It's an Amazon special. I think I paid 17 bucks, which it might have been free shipping. I don't remember. It was less than 20 bucks. I've got one of these in a different truck, and yeah, they're generic, I guess. I don't know, but I don't race. Once again, I just bash, and the speed on them is plenty fast enough. I got enough response to where it drives fine. So let's hope it lasts for a while. My other one has. It claims to have metal gears in there. I don't know the actual speed on there, but so far so good. So let's pop it in and see how this one works. So the servo on the four-wheel drive is up towards the front below this drive shaft here. I've never actually replaced one on a four-wheel drive, so we gotta look and see how this is done. I started off driving / two-wheel drives, and just kind of more recently, I have two four-wheel drives also, but just more recently started driving the four-wheel drives a little bit more often, and so I'm learning a lot about those as we go. I know the two-wheel drives inside or out. They're super easy to work on. There's nothing to them, but we'll start tearing this thing apart and see what we got to do to get it out. See if we can figure it out and not break anything and make it drivable again so I can get back out there. So I think this whole front end might have to come off. I don't see any other way of doing this. I have sway bars installed on this. I blew out one of the bottoms of, I had a set of GTRs on there, and I blew off, or I broke the bottom here, same time that I screwed up that servo. So I threw a set of these, these garbage, well, I don't know what they are. They're big bore generic shocks. They seem to work, but I don't really like them that much. But they'll be good until the rebuild kit comes for this thing. You know, once it gets here, I'm gonna check the oil level, change out the oil, whatever. I got a couple of rebuild kits, so I want to get the GTRs back onto this thing once the stuff shows up. Well, that's why I got these blue things on the front. So I think we're gonna have to take the sway bar loose. Take this whole front clip off and see what it looks like after we get that off. Alright, we got the front end off. Now there's 4 screws that hold the servo on. And then you just got to take the wire out of the receiver box, put the new servo in, and run the wire, put the 4 screws back on. Then I got to try and line up the servo arm in the correct position to make sure that everything stays good and straight, and we should be back in action. Alright, so here's the deal, okay? You essentially have one, two, three, four screws, okay? That takes off this whole front clip, the front end just pops off. After you get that off, you have to remove one screw down below on the servo arm. After that, you remove four screws that hold the servo to the chassis, and then you take the wire out of your receiver box and remove everything. Get your new servo, plug it into channel 1, or the same channel you took it out of. On the Traxxas receiver, it's channel 1. You take four screws and reattach the servo to the chassis. At that point, I would turn on the truck. I would center your steering trims, okay? Set this, if you have a TQ top qualifier Traxxas, set that guy to like noon, 12 o'clock, straight up and down, before you turn it on. So set that to 12 o'clock, turn it on, power up your truck. The steering servo should center itself. At that point, you want to grab your front end, make sure your wheels are straight, and you want to point that arm on the steering servo essentially like straight up and down. But what you're watching for is to make sure that your steering is straight when you bolt it back onto the body. So make sure these front wheels are pointing straight forward when you actually bolt this front end back onto the chassis. If not, if it's all out of whack when you turn it on, the wheels are going to pitch one side or the other, and then you're going to have to adjust your trim essentially too far, and then you'll have a lot of issues with steering. So this is a very important part, is to center this steering servo before you get everything back on. So make sure to turn it on, let it center itself, and then position that arm correctly so the front wheels are pointing straight ahead. That was the hardest part for me, because I got big fat fingers and it's hard to get in there and line it up correctly, but I did get it. So now I just have to make minor adjustments on my trim on the controller, which is fine. Everything's good now. After that, you just put your four screws back in and it's good to go. You can hide your wires better, whatever you want to do. Some like to zip tie, some like to hide them into the receiver box more. I'm just going to run this one along with the other ones and bury it a little bit, and it should be fine. Alright, thanks for watching, guys. I'm Don, and to watch our other videos, please like and subscribe. Thank you.